welcome to the Porsche.
I mean, I'm way too not classy for this ride, but I like it.
Picked out the color just for you. I just found out that this is your favorite color.
Yep, I think it was called like cerulean blue. It was like my favorite crayon or something. So I've always liked it.
Well, before we go, I have a little something for you because I follow you on social media. Now, I didn't get the macaroon cake because I know your birthday is coming up.
Yes,
You're about to have a birthday. So here are some macaroons. So if you get hungry during the ride, you can just
my
snack
God.
on them.
I love it. I'm sure they'll end up on my Instagram.
If they're good. And if they're not,
They look pretty though.
first of all, your Instagram is you're a very fun person to follow on Instagram.
Thank you. I try to be, or I try to create interesting content or find things that I enjoy that I think maybe other people will like and post about them.
What do you think is the key to having an interesting Instagram page? Because not everybody does.
I've been trying to really figure out what the people that are following me now really want to see from me. And of course, every time I post a selfie, those get like the most likes. So thanks, guys. Because I have 55% guys on my Instagram. But I do post a lot of stuff that I'm really interested in. And I feel like because of my age, I have a lot of interests. So I try to keep things different, but they're all passions of mine. So it's, home decor stuff. It's cooking. It's pretty things that I find at a flea market. I just try to vary it up a lot. I think that's probably the key. I think when people see the same thing on an Instagram all the time, there's really just nothing there for them. So I'll post anything and everything if I think it's cool.
I feel like your Instagram page has also become about branding for you as a business, because you mentioned that you have a lot of selfies, which I post some selfies, but not a lot because I don't think I take very good ones. You take awesome selfies, and this, I hope this doesn't sound creepy, but I'm just going to tell you because I said I was going to. Sometimes I'll pull up your selfies and I'm like, makeup is on point. I want to figure out how to do my makeup that way. Or I really love that color shirt or that outfit. Let me see if I can find something that's like that. So I feel like your selfies are almost like fashionable inspiration for me as a woman.
I try to be.
I don't know if is that weird?
I'm
that
like
I look
a
at your
fan.
selfie and I'm like trying to copy like the eye makeup in the bathroom.
You know what it is? I'm a total fan. I love makeup. I love fashion. I love all of that stuff so much. And I have friends that work in all of those industries, and I follow them very closely. I've been looking at their Instagrams for a long time, and I ask questions. I'm like, hey, how did you do that? How do I do my eye makeup like that? And I think after a while, I just sort of, without any formal training, I sort of like figured out how to do it for myself. Yeah. Now, if you ask me to do makeup on somebody else, it may or may not be good, but I think I've gotten to a point where I'm really confident doing things that I've learned from some of my friends. Mm-hmm. And then, it is funny. I'll have like a friend come up to me and be like, hey, that shirt you were wearing in your selfie from last Friday, where'd you get it? And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but that says something. It means that whatever your style is, people are engaged with it and it interests them. So locally in Cleveland, a lot of people would know your voice and your face too from being on the Alan Cox radio show. So you're on WMMS. Mm-hmm. You have your own radio show too.
Yeah,
right?
99X.
99X. Mm-hmm. You were on The Real World.
Yeah, so, that happened.
That happened. You say that too. Do you regret that, or?
I can't regret it because it got me to where I am, but I have to say, what a complete invasion of privacy. And I knew a little of what I was getting into, but really you don't know the scope of it until you're there. And then also, I got exposed to the glorifying internet reviews on, everything about me. People from high school trying to tear me down just because I got an opportunity that they didn't, and all this stuff. I had no idea this stuff existed. Twitter was just starting when I went to film the show, so it's like I really didn't know what the giant scope of everything was going to be. And now that I do, I would never do it again, because yes, I'm a very public person as far as being on the radio show. I talk about my life and everything like that, but I do like to hold on to a little bit of privacy when I can. Mm-hmm. And there's just none when you're on reality TV, and people think that they see a total of probably about an hour of footage of you personally out of thousands of hours that they shot, and that's supposed to represent your whole,
So coming from reality TV, do you view reality TV differently, or do you not even like to watch it?
Oh, I love watching it because I know the deal. Like, I know that those people living in a house are surrounded by cameras. There's a microphone in their headboards. I mean, there's no escaping it. And I feel almost kindred to those people because I know what they have gone through. And actually, every once in a while, a reality star will reach out to me kind of asking for my guidance on what I've done to, you know, parlay it into an entertainment career and stuff, and I'm always happy to give them advice. And my plan was obviously, or my steps to getting to where I am was a little bit random. I got my job on Twitter, but
that's what you did. You do what you do, tweet something and say, I want to be on the
Yes.
show. What was the tweet?
This is so embarrassing, but I moved to Cleveland to be with my now husband. He was my boyfriend at the time, and I'm like, I gotta find a job, I gotta find something. The Real World was over. It hadn't aired yet, but it was done filming, and I was like, I need to set myself up for something. I've always wanted to work in the entertainment industry, and I studied radio in school. So I hit up the program director on Twitter and said, for Kiss FM actually, and said, hey, would you like to interview me about The Real World? I'd be happy to come in. I live in the Cleveland area now. And I thought maybe that connection could lead to something potentially. When I came in, he said, hey, do you want a part-time job? And I was like, yes, why, yes, I do.
Yeah.
And it ended up being for the Alan Cox show. He walked me in and introduced me to Alan Cox, who I'd heard of already from Chicago. And I thought I was just going to be answering the phones forever and that there was no chance for me to move up, but I definitely was willing to put in the work to see if that would happen.
Did you have a dream of doing more than that, or were you just going through the motions, like, this is my job until I figure out what I want to do?
I've always had a dream to entertain people. It is like, I need to. It's a need. Whether it's
Where does it
dancing
come
or
from?
singing. I think I grew up in like a very performance family. My dad was an athlete and my mom is a teacher, and she was also an actress, and we were involved in community theater very young. I mean, I think I did my first musical at 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, and
What
I
was
watched
it?
my mom. I think it was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
It's a good one.
And then my mom had a starring role in Oliver. She played like the evil orphanage lady. And I watched my mom and I just saw how she brought joy to people. And it really, I mean, I was dancing for my friends. I was being dramatic. There's so many videos. I was impersonating Elvis as a kid. I always needed to entertain. So I knew that despite the fact that radio wasn't necessarily like something I had always thought about as a kid, when I got to college, I knew that that would be the direction I could go in, that I could really entertain people and enjoy my life doing that.
Yeah. So there you are, phone screening for Alan Cox.
Yep.
Hoping that something more is going to come out of it, and then it did.
Yep.
What was the break? Like, what was that turning point like for you, where you knew that something bigger was going to happen and that the opportunity was a real opportunity?
They came to me about 6 months in. The management at the station came to me and said, hey, here's the deal. We aren't going to offer you any more money, but we want you to talk all the time on the air. Alan's going to leave your microphone on instead of just you chiming in every once in a while. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, that, you know, I had noticed that Alan had started leaving my mic on longer, and he was encouraging me. He was being very encouraging about speaking up and saying what I felt. And, the management came to me and said, hey, this is what we want you to do. Are you willing to do it just on the chance that maybe the next time contracts come around that maybe we can offer you more than what we currently are? And I was like, yeah, I'll take experience any day. And I absolutely fell in love with it. It was like when Alan opened up my mic, it just seemed like my world opened up because I had a lot more opportunity at that point to really grow my career from there.
On the type of show you're on, which is talk, you are encouraged to give opinions. Have you always been an opinionated person? And did you feel a little gun shy knowing that when you give an opinion, you're going to get some back too, and they may not agree with you?
I will say, I think that's the one thing that the Real World prepared me for, is that you're going to face scrutiny. It's just going to happen. If I was the most beautiful, the smartest, the funniest chick on the radio, I'd still be a chick on the radio. And people are just going to disagree with things that I say strictly because I'm a woman doing a man's job to some people. And there's a lot of men in our industry. But I thought that if I was just honest and really true to myself all the time, that people would go, okay, I don't agree with her. I do disagree with her on a lot of issues, but I respect that she's forthcoming. And I respect that she just tells it like it is. I mean, I've been open and honest about not only my opinions, and yes, I've been an opinionated person my entire life. Sorry.
Hey, but
you know,
that's what works for the show.
It has to.
You don't want somebody who's just going to say yes, what you said all the time.
And I don't always agree with Alan, and I'm not afraid to tell him when I don't. And I do think he likes that because he likes to spar, to verbally spar with people in a respectful way. You know, he's really good at that. So I knew that I would be safe with him. He would definitely welcome any opportunity to have me voice my opinion. However, yeah, there was some early backlash on a few things that I said, and you know, some emails that I've printed out and posted up because they're hilarious. I mean, but if I let people criticizing me for an opinion destroy my career, I mean, I would never forgive myself because I love what I do, regardless of the hate that you might get.
Do you get criticized more for your opinion, or do you get criticized more, like, attacked personally?
I think I get both. I get the people that just don't like me. There's nothing I can do or say that's going to make them like me, so it doesn't matter what's coming out of my mouth. They're just not a fan. And then I do get people that go, you know what, Erika, normally I got your back, but like this, I'm not, you know, you lost me on this one. And I'll respond to everyone and just say, listen, you're not going to agree with me on everything, but that's what makes me me. And if I tried to go along with everything Alan said or try to go along with everything Bill said, it wouldn't work for the show, and it's not true to who I am. So I think most people can understand that. There's been a lot less hate over the last couple of years than the initial couple of years, but even if there was a lot now, I would be able to handle it a lot better than I used to be able to.
Well, I think you learn a lot as you age, and you're still young, but you started in the business at a very young age. So I wonder this too. Sometimes the opinions or our thoughts when we're a lot younger, they change, they evolve a little bit. Looking back, are there some things that you feel like you really held strongly to that then morphed or changed for you over the course of the show?
You stumped me on that one.
You know, sometimes we can look back and go, wow, I kind of wish I didn't say that. Or
Yeah.
that's one I want to get back. And I think that happens to every human being, by the way, but certainly any of us who are in the entertainment industry.
I think I have no regrets on anything I've ever said on the show because in the moment I was being myself, and though it may be unflattering, I mean, I've talked about my personal struggles on the show against some of my family's wishes. I've talked about, you know, different things that are very personal to me. And
why did you do that? Why did you feel like you wanted to talk about some of your personal struggles? Like which one, what struggles?
I grew up having mental illness issues, you know, depression and anxiety, and I still suffer from anxiety as an adult. I manage it, and I'm an adult about it. If I need to go see a doctor, I'll go talk to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed anymore. And I think, I personally think that a lot of people need to hear that from somebody that maybe they listen to on the radio every day, and that they maybe look up to or think is like a quote-unquote celebrity, which I don't find that to be the truth myself, but I can see why other people, you know, are fans of us and stuff. And I wanted people to realize that it's cool to talk about that kind of stuff, and I think more people will identify with you if you are your true self on the air. And so I wasn't going to play this character of this girl who has everything put together when I don't always. I try, and I'm doing the best that I can, but I wanted to be open about who I am, and part of who I am is what I've been through. So that's, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me to talk about that kind of stuff.
So let's talk about you and Kyrie Irving.
My
Your
bestie.
BFF.
He doesn't know it, but we are.
Okay, so in other words, like the BFF necklace, you still have both halves of it?
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Right, okay.
It's engraved with both of our names, but I keep those. We first had Kyrie Irving on the show, and we interviewed him. This was right when he got signed to the Cavs, and I just felt really connected to this guy because he was young. He was like closer to my age. He was really sweet and honest and just genuine. And I thought, this is a multi-million-dollar signed athlete, and he just seems like a regular guy. And so we sang a show tune together on the show.
You did?
It went like mini viral for a second. We sang "Summer Love" by from Greece.
Stop it.
Or Summer Lovin' or whatever. And I was dying because he did musical theater in high school. So I had a connection with him from that point on. And then we did a couple of events where we played basketball with him, like being like the coach. Yeah. And we got listeners spots on our teams, and we faced off against him. And every year he always asked to play on my team. He would sub in every once in a while.
By name. So he knows you by name.
Okay, true story. This happened.
Okay.
This is me fangirling right now over Kyrie Irving, but I don't care. So the last year that we did the basketball tournament, we did it 3 times in a row. The last year, I'm like, you know, it'd be really cool if he could still remember me. I know he remembered me last year, but he meets a lot of people. I walk up to go get our little picture together that they had, like, a little setup for it. And he goes, hey, what up, E? And I'm like, stop, I'm dead, I'm dying, gone. Who does that? Who calls me a nickname? Oh, God, I just love
Kyrie Irving.
So I was like, what up, Kay? And so then at that point, I've been telling everyone we're best friends. So I haven't seen him since, but...
And do you have his telephone number?
No, God, I wish, no.
Like, that's what you work on next. Like, how do you
My husband wouldn't even
somewhere.
be mad. He wouldn't be mad.
No, and you probably could invite him to come. Like, what if you just went for coffee or Chipotle or whatever it is that I don't know what else you have in common.
I would treat Kyrie to Chipotle any day. You know what my favorite thing about him was? Is that when we first interviewed him on the show, he had just signed, I don't know how many millions of dollars for his first contract with the Cavs. In the lobby, we had a stack of Quiznos coupons. He took like 2 pages of it and he goes, hey, I got money now, but that doesn't mean I don't like a deal. And I was like, spirit animal, I love you. And ever since then, I've just been Team Kyrie. And obviously I love the Cavs in general, but like really I love Kyrie. I mean, he's my dude.
While you're known for your voice and your time on the radio, you've started some businesses of your own. Is that something that is new, that whole like entrepreneurial mind? Is that something you've just started recently becoming interested in, or do you think that was always somewhere inside of you that you wanted to own your own businesses?
I think I've always kind of had that business mindset, but the last couple of years I've had some health issues. I've been dealing with some migraines, and finally I'm starting to get a handle on it, and it kind of really lit the fire underneath me to really go out and do things that I've wanted to do for a really long time and not hold myself back because I wasn't feeling well on a certain day or whatever. Like, really pushing through this stuff and accomplishing a lot of stuff has really kind of inspired me and reinvigorated me, and it makes me better at all the other things that I do when I'm focusing on something new. Some people think that when they start a bunch of things or they have a bunch of irons in the fire that it's too much and they're not good at either one of those things. I like being really busy. That's where I thrive. And I feel like it actually pushes me to do better at each of the things that I'm involved in. And I like pretty things. I like making pretty things. I like looking at pretty things. And I like to entertain people. So I'm trying to like figure out how all of those can kind of coexist, because I have more interests than just the radio show. Obviously that is my number one passion. It will always take precedent over everything. But, you know, I've got a little extra free time every once in a while, and I use it.
You're young.
I gotta do this now.
Yet, right?
Yeah.
But you're building this business, so it's kind of, would you say it's interior design? Because you have this business, it's on Etsy right now, right? Erika Lauren Loves.
Yeah.
So explain what it is.
Well, Erika Lauren Loves is a blog, and then from that blog, I'm allowing myself to see whatever opportunities come. One of the things is I was making these home decor pieces in my house, and I was hanging them in my own house, and I made some for our wedding, and people kept asking me about them and saying, you should sell these, and I thought, really? Someone would buy this? And so earlier this year, I just made one collection of like 20 pieces, and I said, okay, I'll toss these on Etsy. If they don't sell, I'm only out the money I spent on making these pieces, and then that'll be it, and I can get over it and just keep making them for myself. Well, I sold out all 20 pieces in less than a week. So I was like, oh, okay, I have something here.
Yeah.
So now with the blog, I'm going to keep updating that. But then also I'm going to continue my Etsy business. And yeah, if someone wanted me to come decorate their house, I'd be down for that too. if I can physically squeeze it into my schedule, I will make it happen, because I like to entertain people and I like to make people happy. And I think they kind of coincide with my business and the radio show.
So it sounds like you follow your interests, you follow your passion, you kind of throw it out there and you see what sticks. Is that where you are? Is that the phase of your life you think you're in right now? Or is there a solid plan?
I have zero solid plans, but and radio, you can't make any solid plans. I mean, I've got a contract, but anything could even happen with that. But I think my plan is, somebody told me a while ago, just to follow my own path and to be genuine and true to myself, and just delve into every little passion that I have, and then the business end will come. Yeah. So right now I'm just following where my interests are leading me, and if it ends up being really successful and I end up being really successful, that's amazing, but I already feel really fulfilled right now. So that'll just be the icing on the cake, or the icing on the macaroon if if they end up being successful. Obviously, I would love to be successful and to, make a ton of money, but that's not the primary goal. It's just to do things that make me happy.
And I love to see your success. You're doing so amazing. Really, from radio and doing TV and growing your own business. Girl, you've accomplished a lot.
I don't have a life, but my life is this stuff. That's what people don't get. They go, oh, I want to have a personal life. No, I don't want to have a personal life. I want to have it all. I want to have everything. I want my business life to be like my personal life, because it's so much fun,
Well, I just think you're doing awesome. So
Thanks,
I'm very
girl.
proud of you. Thanks for taking the ride.
Sure. Anytime you want to pick me up in this car, I'm down.
You got it. I'll see
Thank you for my treats, too.
You're welcome. I hope they're good. You'll let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Bye, my friend.
Bye, girl.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, and have a good birthday weekend.
Thank you. I will.
Safe travels.
I know. It's going to be fun.
Bye.
Bye, girl. Oh, and this car is going to...
And it doesn't want you to go.
I can't get out.
The car is locking you in.
That's how you know I'm not fancy enough for this car.